Title: The Echoes of Unheard. The quaint town of Hemlock Hollow had long been known for its warm summers and friendly folk. But nestled between the creaking oaks and whispering pines lay an old abandoned radio station, a remnant of a time when music danced through the airwaves. Dailey Clarks Radio was once the crown jewel of this sleepy town, but it had fallen into disrepair and ultimately faded into memories. Max, a young journalist fueled by ambition and a thirst for the unusual, had recently moved to Hemlock Hollow, hoping to uncover hidden stories. When he learned about the station, his curiosity piqued. Tales of strange happenings and hidden broadcasts circulated among the townsfolk, but most dismissed them as mere folklore. Deciding to investigate, Max donned his worn leather jacket, grabbed his recording equipment, and set out for Dailey and Clarks. The station loomed before him, an antiquated structure with broken windows and vines creeping over the brick facade like fingers trying to pull it into the earth. A chill brushed against his skin as he stepped through the rotting doorway, a gust of stale air escaping the confines like a ghost awakening from slumber. Inside, dust particles danced in the dim light that filtered through the broken windows, creating an ethereal atmosphere. Old records lay scattered, their surfaces cracked and unplayable. The smell of mildew and decay hung in the air, yet a strange sense of excitement tugged at Max's heart. He made his way to the main broadcasting room, where tangled wires and rusting equipment seemed to whisper secrets. As he explored, he noticed an old reel-to-reel tape player sitting unnoticed in the corner. Max felt an inexplicable urge to play it. Carefully, he dusted it off and found a reel marked with faint, curling letters, "Do not play." Quote, eager to hear what secrets it held, Max hesitated for only a moment before threading the reel into the machine. With a click, he pressed the play button, and the tape started whirring, crackling to life. At first, it was mostly static, then fragmented voices began to rise from the noise, muffled and overlapping, as if a crowd was desperately trying to speak. Max's pulse quickened. He leaned closer, straining to make sense of the chaotic soundscape. Then, a woman's voice cut through, clear and chilling. "Help us." It was followed by a low, groaning sound that sent shivers down his spine. Max's blood ran cold as the realization sank in that these voices were no mere relics of a bygone era. They were the echoes of people trapped in a time he could not touch. He hit stop, his heart pounding in his chest. A sense of dread coiled around him. Who were these people? What had happened in this very room? Deciding to capture the moment, Max swiftly set up his recording device, capturing the lingering static and distant whispers. But as he continued to listen intently, the voices grew more distinct, pleading, warning, and finally, a cacophony of cries, overlapping and rising to a fever pitch. "Don't let them in. They'll take you too." Just then, another sound pierced through. A chilling laughter that echoed in the confines of the decaying station. Panicking, Max ripped the tape from the player, his instincts screaming for him to leave. But as he turned, the door slammed shut, trapping him within. The laughter grew louder, a mocking presence that echoed off the walls. Shadows began to shift, forming figures in the dark corners of the room, faces twisted in anguish and eyes wide with terror. Max stumbled back, clutching his recording device that now seemed like a lifeline, something to anchor him to reality. He turned it on just as the air grew colder, the whispering voices surrounding him in a furious crescendo. "You should have listened. We didn't get a choice, now you won't either." Quote, with a surge of adrenaline, Max pounded against the door, but it wouldn't budge. Desperate, he raised his recorder, capturing the voices as they wrapped around him, suffocating him in their despair. They transformed into screams, shrieks of pure terror that threatened to pull him under. In a last-ditch effort, he hurled his remaining strength into the door, shoving it open. He stumbled into the night, the petrichor air slicing into him, but the echoes of the unheard followed him, lingering like a shadow. Max fled, leaving the past behind, or so he thought. He returned to his cramped apartment, shaking but exhilarated. He had stumbled upon something extraordinary, a story for the ages. He tried to play the recording again, eager to share his find, only to be met with deafening silence. Days turned into weeks, and Max grew consumed by his pursuit of understanding those voices. The townsfolk noticed his fervor turning into obsession and warned him to stop. Wise tales of the haunted radio station blinked in and out of their conversations. While celebrating the arrival of a new month, Max threw a party, inviting fellow journalists and friends, sharing whimsical stories and laughter. He decided to play his haunting find for them, believing they would marvel at his discovery. As he pressed play, they all froze, the ominous laughter filling the room. Before long, the cheerful chatter was replaced by horrified gasps. A dark shape slithered in the corner of the room. One by one, his friends vanished into the shadows as others frantically sought escape. Max stood alone, the weight of their disappearance crushing him. The voices grew louder, resounding with the finality of lost souls, a symphony of terror that had followed him from Dailey and Clarks. The door behind him creaked ominously, a sinister invitation. As the unseen figures enveloped him, he understood the truth. The tape he had thought to capture would echo forever, entrapping him in the world of the unheard. In Hemlock Hollow, they would whisper about the haunted radio station, the strange journalist who vanished, leaving only echoes of laughter and despair, unheard.